Welcome to episode number 2 of 15 ideogram prompts, where I share a bunch of prompts that will help you generate print-on-demand graphics. Prompt number 1 is going to help you prepare for July the 4th if you're looking to enter that upcoming seasonal trend. This is a very simple prompt. It says distressed retro hat in American flag colors with a deep black background, illustration, graffiti, and you can swap out the heart keyword right here for lots of other things and then create some cool graphics that will be suitable to sell around July the 4th. If you do struggle to remove the background with all this distress effect going on, you can also remove that from the prompt, by the way, and then you should get some clearer results. But as you can see, some of these might be easier to use. In this case, you could trace around the edge right here and then remove the background that way. By the way, I do have a tutorial coming in the future showing you how to remove the background from more complex graphics with a lot of texture and a difficult outline. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Prompt number 2, another one for Independence Day. I thought I'd share a few American flag themed ones because we are coming towards that event. And in this case, we've got a teddy bear with the text, Happy 4th of July. I quite like the style right here. Kind of looks a little bit sketched, and the flag is very nicely embedded. Bit of a longer prompt, but you can obviously amend that to suit different topics and different niches. And one quick bonus tip is if you have a prompt for a topic that you are looking to create designs for, once you have it open, scroll down on the page and you will see a lot of related graphics and related prompts as well. You can keep scrolling, and you might find some new cool looking graphics that you could also use as a basis to work with. So always bear that in mind. And by the way, all of these prompts will be linked in the description. You can just click on the link, it will bring you to Ideogram, leave a like, and then you can either copy the prompt here or click use to bring it up in your prompt bar. Next up, we've got a prompt that is aimed at boys. So it says just a boy who loves trucks, and the graphic turned out pretty cool. And in this case, we actually have a magic prompt. You might want to try copying or using that one in your case, and I do encourage you to use the prompt as a basis for other niches or whichever niches you're selling in. You could easily swap out the keywords of trucks right here and have it, change the graphic and change the phrase over as well. Just be careful if you're going to change it to just a girl who loves, because at one point that phrase was causing rejections on Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still trademarked or still causes that issue, but I would stick to just a boy, at least in this case. Next up, we've got a really cool result right here for a very creative idea, and that's the Eiffel Tower being embedded into a guitar, or the shape of a guitar. Looks amazing, great idea. I'm sure you can probably use this concept for other topics as well, combining two different shapes. But I thought I'd show this because, yeah, the results look pretty cool. And the thing is, in this case, some of this bottom part is very easy to remove the background, but then at the top you might struggle, so you would have to trace around the edge here again and probably do it manually. I doubt if you use something like clip drop you're going to get a good result with a graphic like that. But if you generate your own, you might have more of an outline, or you might want to point out in the prompt that you want more of an outline around the graphic to have an easier time actually removing the background. Here we've got a very simple text-based design, which I thought would be useful for almost any phrases, at least when they're aimed at women or kids or girls specifically. Not the most masculine design style, but just the fact that you have some really cool fonts right here that turn out with the hearts scattered around the design, and also this sort of pastel-ish color scheme. Looks really cool. You can easily amend the prompt right here and just change the phrase. The magic prompt is a bit longer, but again, change out this phrase and then you will get some cool results. This is probably my favorite one because the hearts have that sort of hand-drawn pastel-y effect. And yeah, it's a neat layout, very simple, very easy to read and understand. So test out this prompt for your phrases and see if you also get some good results back. Another bonus right here, or added bit of ease, is that it's a very clear contrast between the graphics and the background, which would make it easy to remove the actual background and separate it from the text and the graphics. Prompt number 6 is a little bit different. This is a travel poster style, which is not necessarily useful for t-shirts, but if you're designing posters or anything with more of an all-over print sort of layout, then this might be really handy. In this case, we've got an example with California. The good thing is the prompt is very short, which means it's going to be easy to amend, change the style around for a different location as well. I think the actual result looks really cool. The vector art style, the vibrant colors, and the layout is very neat too. You can basically use the graphic as is. So test it out and see if you also get some decent results. Here we have a prompt that gives you a bit of text written inside the shape of a hat, and the person used a parent right here with a very heavy image weight, so I feel like you might need to sort of refine your results a little bit and use the remix feature. But the style itself I think looks amazing. It's simple, just one color, easy to remove the background, and it's very clear that this is a heart shape. So yeah, I mean, you could also try it with other shapes, perhaps text within a circle or other maybe more exciting shapes than a circle, I don't know. But yeah, wanted to share this with you because it looks pretty neat, and I could see this working very well as both a t-shirt, but probably also a sticker, a coffee mug, like many things this sort of design could probably work quite well with. Just swap out the phrases, maybe try out some different shapes, and you should get yourself some cool graphics as a result. Prompt number 8 is this very simple and easy to use vintage sunset. One of the most popular styles, at least when it comes to t-shirt designs in print on demand. And what I like about this is that the sunset itself is very clean. There isn't any like texture that's going to be difficult to cut out or remove the background from, but as you can see, we have one that looks completely different here, but this one has a magic prompt, the original doesn't. So if you're going to try and use this prompt, stick to the original and don't turn magic prompt on if you want this kind of simplistic style with the silhouette, easy color scheme. Like, I quite like this result. You might want to like fix a few things if your graphics look like this one, like the orange down here is probably a bit out of place. I would change that to blue. But yeah, besides that, great result, very usable for POD. Obviously, you would want to add some text as well. Swap out the silhouette perhaps from a cyclist to, actually this is a hiking bike. Okay, that's how it's described. Interesting. But you might want to swap that out again for other topics, whichever niches you're entering, and then add some funny phrases alongside of it. Speaking of hiking, here is a really intriguing result that is kind of related to hiking, because we have an illustration of a hiking boot with its sole pattern morphing into a mountain path in earthy colors. And all of these results look really cool. They all have a magic prompt attached to it. This one is a bit strange, but you can see that this kind of morphing of two objects can create some very unique graphics, and it's a simple base prompt, which means you can swap out hiking boots and then mountain path, and also use other topics that might work well in combination, like a piece of equipment or a tool in combination with an aspect of nature that it is maybe related to, like maybe a surfboard and the beach or something along those lines. And that's what I would do if I see about this. Apply that sort of thought pattern, think of the niches that you're selling in, how can you use a prompt like that and utilize it with this sort of morphing effect. Yeah, really cool result. Never seen something like this, so I thought I'd shout it out. And yeah, I hope you have fun using this prompt and being creative with it. Here we've got another sort of text-based design, but the text is entirely made up of flowers, and I thought it looks really intriguing because the flowers are slightly, like, they almost look a bit realistic rather than that sort of graphic vector style, and you can still quite easily remove the background right here, and then you've got yourself a very long piece of type. Of course, if you change the word, it might be different, but yeah, very interesting looking prompt, cool result. You can easily amend that. Again, change the text out and use different pieces of text, ideally probably shorter, because I could imagine a very long word. First of all, it would be very tall and thin if it's the same vertical layout, and on the other hand, it would be a lot harder to read a very long word with this flower pattern attached. I think the reason this works is because love just has 4 letters and it's more easily digested, even with like a complex flower pattern applied to it, like in this result. For number 11, we have a more sort of watercolor-esque style. Yeah, it's part of the prompt as well. You've got a base prompt right here, watercolor drawing, and then a magic prompt that turned out this result. And it's kind of a stack of cats, which I thought looked really cool, quite unique and intriguing. And if you have an animal niche where you might want to create more of a unique design rather than just one animal, then yeah, try out this prompt. Cool result. The colors look pretty neat, easy to remove the background. You might struggle a little bit with adding text top and bottom, but what I would probably do in this case is have the text to one side, probably to the right side of the graphic if it was me. But yeah, cool, unique way to kind of enter an animal themed niche. So if you're selling in any, maybe give this prompt a try. If you're just looking for a very simple text-based design with an easy, simple style, but still eye-catching, then this might be the prompt for you. It says in this case, don't ever call IDEOGRAM users parasite, but of course you can swap out the text right here within the prompt, and then you can get this cool sort of 3D shadow effect, which definitely kind of jumps out a little bit more if you see it on a t-shirt. Cool for like different statement niches. If you have a statement that you kind of want to call out to people. So yeah, nice and easy, simple results, easy to remove the background as well. So what's not to love? Here is another unique style that I stumbled upon. It is a vase with a sort of sunset picture or vector art piece embedded into the vase itself. And what's also cool is the vase has got a clear outline around it, so that makes it easier to remove the background, and you can amend this prompt and use different subjects. It doesn't have to be a vase, right? It doesn't even have to be a sunset, but I think, considering that the sunset style can be quite popular in print on demand and we're moving into summer, this might be a cool topic and a cool prompt to apply to different niches and test out. Maybe you can even combine it with some phrases, but yeah, I thought this result looked really cool and the idea behind it is quite unique. If we scroll down, let's see, no, there's nothing else that looks similar right here, but yeah, I'm sure you could come up with some ideas of how to use this prompt and apply it to different objects or different sort of topics. Moving on, here is another travel poster style. I think I prefer the style of this one to the previous one I showed you. Just in this case, we don't have text attached to the graphic, but still want to shout this out because it has a really cool sort of strike effect in there. And you can kind of see that across all the graphics right here, and the colors as well look amazing. So if you want to do travel poster style designs, this is probably a great prompt to try out and apply to different topics. Like if you don't want a beach scene, you can swap some things around right here and amend it for different locations. But yeah, really nice prompt, neat style, and I hope it helps you out with your workflow. And prompt number 15 is for you if you just want to create some nice, good old animal themed designs. Here we've got a chocolate dachshund baby, and yeah, I mean, we've got a long base prompt, a long magic prompt, but if you swap out some of the main keywords, like in this case, it would be dachshund and perhaps dog, then you're going to be able to create graphics for lots of other animal themed designs. Or this probably works quite well for food as well, I could imagine, this kind of style. At least you might have to change the prompt around a little bit more in that case, but yeah, mainly for animals. This is a great style, looks very POD-esque, probably works quite well in combination with text as well. If you want to learn about a really cool new feature within IDEOGRAM and how to use it for print on demand, make sure to check out this video next.